Oh, that is extremely good side.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Lekker, dankie. How's your day been?
Crazy, but good.
Shame, bro. You see patients today?
No, I had to go and pick up things for practice. And I had meetings in Joburg. So.
Oh, wow. Fun.
So no, I didn't see patients, but I prepared to see patients. Had to go and get like thermometers and scrubs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so obviously there's quite a few like prerequisites and regulations and stuff that you have to admit to actually be able to see patients.
Yeah, so like, I mean, scrubs isn't, you don't have to, but it is strongly advised.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. And like the patients at the box and stuff, has there been a lot of people that's interested at least and that's been coming for sessions, for consultations and stuff?
Not really. The only person that I'm currently working with is Ibrahim.
Okay. Oh yeah, he messaged me and he said he went for his first consultation yesterday.
Yeah, so I mean, we did quite a few online ones in lockdown and it definitely helped him to the point where he could train again. So that was cool.
Oh, wow.
But then, yeah, he came for his first actual consultation.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay.
And let's try and fix him, but it's going to take some work.
Is it?
Nothing more than just years of adaptive shortening.
What's his worst problems? I think he was complaining about his shoulder or something upper body.
So no, for me it was his lower back.
Okay. All right.
So I mean, he was getting pain with like body weight squats.
Wow.
So at least now through lockdown, I got him to the point where he's got no pain on like body weight squats and that. He's only got pain in like sort of the third set of like a weighted squat or weighted clean which is progress.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So a lot of it was stretching things that were short, waking things up that were asleep.
Okay. All right. And like apart from box people, have you been seeing a lot of your other clients and stuff?
Yeah, like a fair amount of ones that are kind of long-standing. So I kind of constantly keep them just in check.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Was it?
How are you guys?
Oh, very sore knees from jumping over dumbbells.
Did you just workout?
Cup workout.
Yes, bro.
Nudge, did you run, cycle, and train today?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I don't even manage to train once at the moment.
I train twice every day.
Nice.
Can I have some of that?
It was a nice little slow run, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, looking at that price.
I am super excited because my mom is coming to sleep over tomorrow night for the first time, so that I can go for a run on Friday morning.
Oh, awesome.
That's cool.
But aren't you running with the pram?
No, Nige. Choose your battles.
Did Paul Marsh?
So Skylar won't sit for very long, and then she just moans, and then she wants to get out, and then you end up with a 2-year-old and a pram and no running.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Don't do that.
No.
So I take her for like walks, but not runs. Okay. So do you guys have a foam roller?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll send my skivvy to fetch it quickly.
Just giving named your wife.
Yeah.
I know that skivvy of yours is probably going to have a lashback and beat you for that comment.
It's going to happen anyway, so it's fine.
You may as well write it.
Exactly. There we go. She's back. Well done.
Yay! Okay. So something just like a little bit different in that it's not going to be a flow stretch. It's going to be more a little bit of static stretching today. And we're going to start up with a little bit of like just basic foam rolling just to allow the places we're stretching to get blood into them. So I know you guys probably only have one foam roller between the two of you.
That's correct.
Can I use a Pilates ball?
I'm trying to think, but I don't think it's going to be hard enough.
Now, what
So-
about the pool noodle?
Just do it and we'll be fast. We'll do double time.
Or otherwise, I mean, you guys have just trained, so you could, one of you just do the foam rolling at the end of the session.
Okay.
He can do it now because he's not supple.
Because you want to laugh at him moan.
He's not subtle or subtle or any of those things.
No P's, no B's, nothing.
Hey, and I got to fly today as well.
Oh, no.
What?
That doesn't look like your house.
Yeah, somebody's in the movie room.
Bastard.
So unfortunately, I have to outsource my daughter occasionally to attend to life.
But you also outsourced. Rian must be happy.
So I had a doctor's appointment and then the doctor ran 2.5 hours late. So I didn't get to pick up Sky and get home in time.
Good excuse.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
The question is, why aren't they doing the lesson with us?
Because they're currently pumping music outside training.
They should be doing the lesson with you.
They should, but they don't stretch, you know, Morse.
Oh, they're like me, but I'm here.
They're like, why should we stretch? Okay, so basically, first things first. Got the foam roller behind you. We're just going to do a basic rollout of our entire length of our spines. So lying down on it, arms crossed over your chest. And all I want you to do to start with is release the back slightly over the foam roller. Roll it a little bit higher. Release slightly, roll a bit higher. Release slightly, roll a bit higher. Release slightly. So that first round of mobilizations, you might have had a few cracks and creases be released. Then what you can do is take your arms and circle them up and place them behind your head. Lift your bum slightly off the ground. And I just want you to do a basic rollout through the entire spine. So you're doing about 5 to 10 sweeps over each area of the back So concentrating nice into the shoulders, lift your hips a bit higher. Moving a little bit more to the middle of the back. You can round your back as you go through the middle of the back. Moving into the lower part of the back. So it's not supposed to kill you.
And if it is?
Sorry.
No, my lower back muscles are very sore.
So if it is, you should come for a massage.
Yeah, I think I should. Must I come to your house or the lessons?
To my practice, please. Okay, and release it up. So next what you're going to do is you're going to sit with your weight back against the foam roller. The foam roller should be sort of at the upper part of your lower back. So not all the way in the bottom of your lower back, but at the upper part where your back starts curving into a hunched position. I want your hands behind your neck, and I want you to ensure that you have your chin tucked. So we're going to be doing extension mobilizations over the foam roller. But what most people do is they release their necks, completely passively relax, and they arch their backs. What I'm trying to get you to do is you're going to tuck your chins, and you're going to engage your abs slightly so that you can keep the curve of your back as you mobilize over. So it allows more isolated mobility. So tucking your chins, sink your belly button, almost try and round through your back. And I want you just to release your chest. Up and over. So a nice deep breath in for me. Release over and breathe out. Come up. Take note of what the difference it would look like if I keep everything tight as I should and come back up versus if I release everything and extend over. So do sort of 4 or 5 in this area, and then you're going to roll the foam roller about 1 centimeter up your spine. And engage abs, engage tucked neck, and release. So you're trying to get mobility into the upper part of your back. Inhale, release, exhale, come up. And inhale, release, exhale, and up. One more, and inhale, and exhale, and move 1 centimeter up the spine. So now you should sort of be quite high up on the back between the shoulder blades. You're going to feel you have less mobility into extension here, and it might be less painful or it might be more painful depending on where you carry the tightness or restriction. And you will feel your lower back can almost be placed onto the ground now, and it should stay there as you extend over. And by having your hands behind your head, you will actually feel that you'll get a little bit of a shoulder stretch at the end of the mobility movement. And inhale, keep that chin tucked, and up, and inhale, and up, and release. Come all the way up off of the foam roller. Okay, now is the part that you might slightly curse me, but you're going to roll onto your right hand side, and we're going to allow the foam roller to work into our lats.
This one sucks.
So while you're here, bend your bottom leg and lift your hips off the ground and allow it to carry some of the weight of the movement. If you want, you can take your hand up and place it behind your head. And you can roll all the way up into the shoulder. You can use your opposite arm to carry some of the weight off of the ground or the foam roller so that you don't have full 100% of your weight pushing down. Because if you have very sore sensitive muscles, this will definitely catch your breath. So do sort of 5 passes in each area and roll it a little bit lower. Passes. And roll it a bit lower. And when you get low enough onto your waist, you can actually take this top arm, place it down on the ground, and roll out your side.
So if it hurts, even if I don't necessarily pick my hips up off the ground, that's also okay?
Please repeat that.
So if it already hurts, even before I put more weight on it by picking up my hips, then I can leave it there, right?
Absolutely perfect. So foam rolling is not supposed to leave you in a sweat.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be a little bit of deep pressure, but you should still be able to breathe through it. And if you feel like it is a little bit too much, use one of your limbs to alleviate some of the weight that you bear down on the foam roller. So basically then you're only placing 50 or 60 or 70% onto the foam roller.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you have done your one side, you're going to start up on the other side. So for me, I like starting at the top in my shoulders. And what I also do sometimes is almost when I'm in my shoulder, I rotate slightly back. So I open my chest towards the ceiling because I find that gets into some of the rotator cuff muscles a little bit better. So remember, with any stretch or any foam rolling, go and find the sticky points.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Stinky.
What are you doing?
I'm stretching.
I can stretch.
Yes. Is that Uncle Archel?
No.
Yes.
Uncle Archel.
Yes, Chris, how are you? Hello.
Okay, move out of the camera now, my love. Come sit here.
I want to say Uncle Archel ballet.
Okay, come show him behind me.
Wow. You're so cute. Oh my word, look at that pirouette.
Okay, so from there, we are going to take the foam roller and we're going to place it down so that we can place our anterior shoulder over the foam roller. And then we are going to lie down with our shoulder over the foam roller. And if you were to imagine the shape of your deltoid muscle here, you're basically going to place the foam roller along that groove. And you're going to push the shoulder into the foam roller. So it's basically rotated slightly down on the right and up on the left for the right shoulder. And while we are here, you are going to take this arm and you're going to lift it up and you're going to circle it. And then you're going to rotate it and you're going to circle it back. So if you had to look at a slightly more side angle position, you're going to have it here. You're going to take it forward. Sorry?
And then also climbing my back, does it help?
And circle it back. And circle it forward. And circle it back. And circle it forward. So you should feel that it's releasing the front part of your shoulder. And when you're all the way at the top, it should start releasing the end of the pec tendon. Release it back. And sort of 5 more sweeps. And back. And what you can do, if you do find sort of at this bottom point, for me, I've got a sticky point, you can roll back and forward and kind of massage and release into that area. And when that feels a little bit easier, you can circle it around. And for me, I have another sticky point with my arm up at maximum. Then I can kind of massage into that area. So basically, at any point within the range of the shoulder, if you find an area of tightness or stickiness, just do a little bit of basic foam rolling into that point. If you feel that you're getting pins and needles or numbness or tingling, try and bear less weight down. You might have very sensitive neurovascular bundles because of pressure, and that would not be ideal. So swapping it to the other side, getting that shoulder on, sort of having it in that groove, and just inhale, rotate the arm up, and exhale, rotate it back down. And inhale, rotate it up, and exhale, rotate it down. And your neck can sort of be comfortable. Mine is just up because I'm talking. And down. And up. And down. So I'm going to do sort of 3 more passes through my shoulder. And then I'm just going to roll out the 1 or 2 points that I'm finding are more painful in the movement. And do a little bit of rolling through those areas.
Now, that one and the lat one is good. Yeah, you're supposed to feel it. Obviously, you don't have a sticky point.
Yes.
I get you a dolly, Bobby.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay. So from there, we're going to do a little bit of foam rolling. We're going to utilize the foam roller, but you can use a chair, a bench, or any surface. I'm only using this for the demonstration purposes. And if you have a towel at hand, you can use the towel. If you don't, you don't have to. So basically what I want to do is I want you to be holding a towel, a PVC pipe, an elastic band, and you're going to be holding it palms face up. You're then going to place your arms out onto a bench or a foam roller or a surface, and you're going to have your hips sort of suspended in the air.
And if you can't do that,
okay. So I think for you, Nige, you're much taller. Work off of your couch. So you're basically just going to hold the pool noodle, palms face up, and place your elbows onto the couch. And you're going to have your hips in the air. But obviously, if you're on a couch, then you're going to be in a little bit more upright position, and that's perfect. Okay? So, your point of contact is your knees and your elbows. And what you're going to try and attempt to do is bend your arms over your head.
Shoulders.
And as you feel like you've got more space, you're going to make your hands come into a closer grip until eventually you could eliminate the object and just interlock your fingers if you've got that range.
Why is it, or why do I find it tougher to have my hands further apart?
Okay, so it depends where you have tightness. If you're finding that it's tougher to have further apart because that rotation of the shoulder is harder, then what you can do is actually go into the opposite. So you use the towel and you actually work your hands further apart.
Yeah, I'm the same as Mart.
Or alternatively, you can even take a second foam roller because then it's a fixed structure and release it. So you might find because the towel bends in the middle, it's going to bend to compensate for tightness. If you've got a fixed structure, it's going to keep your hands apart. So a big thing with this is you're trying to get your chest through between your shoulders.
Yes.
And you want that external rotation with your arms. So that's why I did say to you, turn palms face up, because you're going to find if you turn your palms to face down, the movement's going to get easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you've done a couple, stop at the top and actually roll your triceps out. If you're on a foam roller.
Oh.
Okay, and release that down. So we've actually done quite a lot of opening into our shoulders. And if you had to go and do a basic screen test by sitting on the ground and rotating your arms back where you normally would feel a lot of tightness, you would feel that there's a lot of openness in your shoulders now.
Oh. Yeah.
So you should have a nice open shoulder profile, and we haven't even started stretching yet, okay? So the next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be coming up onto a kneeling position with one leg out. Okay? So let's say for practical purposes, we're on our right knee, our left leg is out. What you're going to be doing is placing your hands down like you would normally be doing in a 4-point kneeling position. And you're going to ride your hips back slightly. And you will feel as soon as you do that, it's going to intensify the stretch into the groin. So ride your hips back slightly. Okay, so what you're going to do is ride them back, inhale, ride them back to neutral, and you're going to lift that left leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. And when I say lift the leg, as little shifting of the weight as possible, but obviously if you do need to, you can shift the weight slightly. So once again, inhale, ride it back. Exhale, come to neutral and lift. And inhale, ride it back. Exhale, come to neutral and lift. And 2 more on the side. Inhale, ride it back. Neutral and lift. And ride it back. And neutral and lift. Now, you're going to flick under your toes in the same position, but I want you to ride it back again. And the reason I flicked under the toes is because we're going to get a little bit of opening into the bottom of that foot. Okay, so while we're in this position, left leg is still stretched out, so we've got a nice inner thigh and groin stretch. If you find that it adds to the stretch to open the toes out or close the toes, you can feel around which space within that muscle requires more tension. Once again, push that weight back slightly over your knees. If in this position you are really sore in your knees, you can, guy, just come sit here quickly.
But I can't sit
Yes,
it.
just 1 second. If you find that you're very painful in your knees, you can place a foam roller and sit down on the foam roller, because that offloads the pressure through the knee joints, but it's still sorry. Okay, so sit back, right hand bent on, right leg bent on the ground, right hand on the ground. You're going to take your left arm, and while you are weight back in this position, you're going to rotate open to the ceiling and release down.
Mommy,
And
mommy.
up for 2 and release
No,
down. And
no.
up for 3 and release down. And up for 4
This is
and release down. And up for 5, release down. I want you to do 2 more. 1 and down. And the last one and down. Good job. Okay, so switching over to the other side. So left leg is going to be down, right leg is lengthened out. Once again, the same principle applies, that you're going to be loading your weight back to get into the internal, the inner thigh, into the groin. And remember, we're going to inhale, rock it back. As we exhale, we're going to come up without too much weight shifting. You're going to lift the leg. And inhale back. And back to neutral. And lift. And 3, inhale back. And neutral. And lift. And 4, back, neutral, and lift. And 5, inhale back, neutral, and lift.
Yes.
Looking under the toes at the back. Remember, once again, in this position, if you need the foam roller to work back onto so that your knees take less pressure, do so now, because you're going to be staying in a backward position. So we're going to push ourselves back there onto those toes. Left arm stays down this time, and we're going to push through into an open right rotation. And down. And inhale up for 2. And down. And 3. Down. And 4. Down. 3 more. 5. And down. Good. Try and keep your backs nice and straight. 6. And nice. Down. Last one. Back. And down. Now, working through both legs, we're going to go into a version of a puppy stretch, which would be arms stretched out forward, hips in the air. But the variation is we're going to add an inner thigh aspect to it. So you're going to take your legs wide. You're going to take your feet equally as wide as your legs. So your feet are not rotated in towards each other. They are equally as wide as your legs. If you had to look from the side view, legs are wide, feet are as wide as the knees. And from there, we are going to go into a backward position again, like we just did. And we're going to try and get our chests through. And you're probably cursing me because I've locked the hips up very nicely.
Hamstring cramp.
But can you keep your like inner ankle onto the floor? Must your legs be straight?
No, you can keep your inner ankle onto the floor. Whatever is comfortably passive, as long as your feet are out in line with the knees and not in. And if you are finding it's just too much for your hips, stack your hips over your knees more. And another 5 seconds. And release down. So from there, all I'm going to do is go on to straight arms, and I'm going to drop through the hips into a cobra. And release out of that. Okay, you guys fine? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, so, sorry?
The twins are asking why it looks like you're in the Lessing TV room.
We are in my studio.
That's what I said.
Okay, so from there, we're just going to go into a anterior shoulder pec stretch. So we're going to open that right arm along ground. Okay, so from here, you're trying to open up the right arm at shoulder height or in a spectrum higher than that, okay? What you're going to be doing is pushing that right shoulder onto the ground, picking up the left leg, lifting it up and rotating it over. So if you had to look from front view, left leg's going up and over.
Can you read? No, what do you say? I don't even know the girl anymore. Look at you. You laid up with that all now.
and release, unwind, swap to the other side. The left arm goes out, trying to work the left shoulder into the ground. Right leg goes up, over, into a rotation, and place your head comfortably on the ground.
Okay, we'll have to go.
Wait, now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And slowly untwist and release. Okay. Coming to a seated position.
We're just going to quickly move you to the garage because the piano has to be used.
Shame.
Sorry.
Mart, how do I get to you? There we go.
Okay.
No, we're good. We're good. Okay, so I just wanted to basically do a little bit of a neck stretch, and then I wanted to open it up to you guys to give me something that is maybe tight or uncomfortable. So what you're going to be doing
Are you there?
is you're going to take your left hand to the back. Okay? Or alternatively, sit on that hand and lean
No
away from
sound. Hang on.
You back, Naj?
Yeah, okay, got you.
Go.
We lost sound with Mon.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so one of three variations. You're either sitting on the ground and you've got your arms circled back and placed behind you, or you are sitting on that left hand, or if you're sitting on a chair or a foam roller, you can hold the object. And what you are doing is holding behind you, you're going to pull away from that arm. That's okay, you can just do it on the ground. So you're going to pull away from that arm, you're going to circle your right arm over, and you're going to go into a lateral stretch. So you should feel that it goes all the way, like if you rocked back to neutral, you would feel it in your neck, and as soon as you rock away, you should feel it start extending into almost your shoulder and your arm.
You put the needles in your hand.
Okay, it's okay. It probably means that you have a very, very tight pec muscle as soon as you rock out like that. Or alternatively, you might have a first rib that is not in the place it's supposed to be. From there, rotate your head to the ground, and instead of going straight across, almost move a little bit forward with the weight of your body.
That's really true. I'm not very good participant.
Oh, Nick.
Okay, and release, swap to the other side. So right arm is behind you, left arm comes up and over, head, and we go into a lateral stretch. And when you're here, lean away directly to the side from your hand, and you should feel that it travels into your arm and neck slightly.
It must be on the phone. That's a problem. I'll try.
From there, rotate your nose down to the ground. You can walk your right arm slightly back and lean forward away from that arm. And finally, drop your chin to your chest, hands interlink, and place lightly on the back of the neck, just relax. And there you can kind of roll down and roll up. Roll down and up. And release. Okay, last things last, and this is where we're going to end it. You have a foam roller, use the foam roller. If you have a towel rolled up, you can use a towel. Alternatively, you can use nothing. But basically what I want you to do is I want you to lie over the foam roller with your head extended off the top end, your soles of your feet together and your knees butterflied open. And from there, you're going to take your arms up to the ceiling. You're going to circle them out to the side. You're going to bend your elbows and you're going to relax in a bent 90-90 elbow position. And from there, if you want to do a little bit of strengthening into the neck, you can do chin tucks in this position. So it doesn't mean you lift your head off the ground. It just merely means you try and tuck your chin in and release to neutral. And tuck the chin in and release to neutral. And tuck the chin in, release to neutral. And 4, neutral. And 5, neutral. Take a nice deep breath in for me. Circling your arms up to the top of your head as long as possible, straightening your legs out as far as possible. And I want you to lengthen from fingertips to the tips of the toes. Deep breath in as you breathe out. Take your arms up. Come through a sit-up position, nice and tall. And try and release forward. And release. Well done, guys.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank
good.
you. I hope, just for you, Nigel, I hope your shoulders are feeling better.
Much better. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool, guys.
Thanks, Mom. That was awesome.
Have a happy evening.
You
Enjoy
too.
your
Thanks.
studio.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Cheers, Mart.
Yes, cheers. Thanks, lady. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Great. So,
Hope you feel a little bit.
oh yeah, definitely. Shoulders feeling much better. Everything's feeling much better. So yeah, it's really great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
You have a lucky evening. And yeah, so far, just quickly on the Pilates sessions, it seems most was 12 session or like 4 p.m.
Sorry, say that again.
Most people seem to be keen for either a 12:30 session or 4 p.m. Everyone seems to be able
Whether it's
to make those two sessions for the Pilates sessions.
okay, so whether it's Pilates or stretch, do you want it at that time, or do you?
I think, yeah. It seems like that's going to be a better time anyway, because that message that I sent out, the replies that I got were all for either it doesn't matter or for like lunchtime or late afternoon. So the morning slot was kind of the least popular.
Okay, and would you like? So I can do lunchtime or afternoon on a Monday, a Wednesday, or a Friday.
Cool.
I can do evening on any evening.
Cool. So let's maybe, how about we do a Wednesday lunchtime Pilates session? Because I quite enjoy that. I think a bit of strengthening or a bit of Pilates work there would be cool. Although if you think Pilates work would suit a different day of the week better, then we could do that as well. I don't know if there's any specific preference or anything. Does it really matter at all?
No, I don't think so.
Is it?
Yes, thank you, my love. So I'm just questioning whether a lunchtime slot is going to work for the future.
Okay. So then let's go 4 p.m. This was quite a lucky slot.
So maybe let's do 4 p.m.
Cool.
And I was thinking maybe we should even do 4 p.m. on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
We can do.
And then Tuesday we do a stretch, and Thursday, which is very often your active recovery day, we do Pilates, and then Sunday we do a longer stretch session.
Cool. Yeah, and then there's quite a lacquer balance in between as well. Okay.
So we can try that.
That sounds good. So Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. Tuesday stretch session, Thursday Pilates session, and then Sunday long stretch session. Perfect.
And then what I'm sitting thinking is this week we're going to keep to Friday.
Yeah.
Because of obviously doing it now. Do you want to do Friday at 4 or Friday at 9 or Friday at 12:30?
Let's do the 4 p.m. again.
Okay.
On Friday. That
cool. So Friday at 4 and then Sunday at 10.
Yes, and then from next week we go Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. and then Sunday.
Okay, and then this Friday, what I'm going to do is I'll do 45 minutes. I'll do 20 minutes of Pilates and 20 minutes of stretching.
Oh, cool. That sounds like a balance, yeah.
So that'll be like a little bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
That's awesome. Great stuff.
Have a happy evening.
Thanks, lady. You too. Thank you so much for these sessions. Like, I really feel great afterwards. So they're a big help.
Yay! I'm glad.
Great stuff.
I enjoy teaching them. So
that's cool. As long as you enjoy doing the sessions, and as long as you feel like you might be getting something out of it as well, then that's great.
Yeah, definitely. I love stretching, and I love helping people stretch. So
I just like the tough thing that probably you find yourself in, and I think any kind of fitness or wellness kind of an industry find themselves in, is obviously we realize the importance of all of this stuff, but a lot of people don't necessarily. So I just wish more people would actually try the session to feel the way that they feel afterwards, to realize and actually feel the benefits. But we'll get there.
We will get there. And like, to be perfectly honest, the way I've put my mind to it is this is for me.
Oh, cool.
It's my 40 minutes or an hour where I stretch because I need it.
Oh, perfect.
And so in that way, I'm not doing it because someone's on the other side of the camera. I'm doing it because it's a commitment to myself, which is a nice mentality to have, because
yeah.
it doesn't mean if there's 5, 10 or no people on the other line, I'm still gonna do it and provide. So I mean, even if no one books, I can still record a session.
And that's actually great. That's essentially the reason why everyone should join, because of the benefits it's going to have for themselves. So, yeah.
But the thing is, and I acknowledge that, if you're really not good at stretching, you really don't enjoy it. So I enjoy it because maybe it's a little bit easier to me.
But still,
but
yeah, I think it even depends from person to person, because for me, I'm definitely not great at stretching, but like the way that I feel afterwards and the improvement that I feel, that is what makes it worth it for me. So, but yeah.
And I think what we can do is, like, if we can, as we have been doing, get someone to post a review or say, I couldn't do this and then I did it and now I'm getting into this position a bit more easier and stuff like that, then I think people will be like, oh, okay, you know, that's cool. Or maybe something like, my back's been really sore, and since I've been doing that, I've been finding that I've got more mobility. So basically trying to relate how it translates to not just training, but also like life.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously I can't post that because it's bias.
True, just a little bit. But maybe we can use someone like Ibrahim.
Yeah, so Ibrahim, we can maybe, because I told Ibrahim to join these sessions as well.
Is it?
I told him, like, especially during his fast now, he can't really do CrossFit because he doesn't have the energy, but he can definitely stretch.
Yeah, definitely.
So I told him, and we can maybe like ask Nigel to post something, because he's always a loudmouth.
Yeah.
Like on the social media group, he's always saying things. So
yeah, exactly. And we'll even get a few more people, like, so maybe we can have a look at the people that actually join in each session, and after a session like this, just get a short review from them. Just tell them, listen, dude, so what did you think? How do you feel afterwards? Any suggestions, like a short mini review?
And they don't even have to send it onto social media. They can post it to you directly. And then you could maybe just even like edit it.
Yeah. And post it
and
on,
be like, this is what they thought.
Social media and everywhere. Okay.
And like getting some feedback of like, I enjoy these sessions. These ones make me feel good. Yes, it really, because then it kind of, you know, like what works. Because then I'll repeat stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't just want to do one thing once and never do it again. But people go, yes, that stretch really worked nicely.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Nice.
And
yeah, so then you can kind of build your sessions and know what to focus on in that as well. Okay.
And it also helps if you are repeating stuff, then people get more confidence in it, which means that they will almost incorporate that into their own life.
Yeah.
Because they're aware of it and they know it and they go, oh, okay, this is a good stretch for when this is what I feel.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about these recordings as well, is like there's definitely a few stretches, especially in the beginning of the session, that I felt like, oh yes, this really opens up my back nicely. So I'll definitely refer back to this recording on YouTube or wherever, and do, even if it's just that segment, just to get.
Yeah.
So no, I think it'll definitely pick up.
It's out there. If people want it, then awesome. If they don't, you can't make the horse drink the water.
Exactly. All right, lady, you have a good evening. And what did you say? Your mom's coming tomorrow evening?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Enjoy it.
So it's a bit of a problem because I have to utilize other people. Like, what do I do with Skype?
Exactly. You can't just I mean, you can't just operate on yourself. So you have to get some people to help out. But I think there's enough people like the lessons and like your mom and everyone that are willing to help out. And that makes a hell of a difference.
Yes. So that's why I am filming from my studio.
Nice. That's cool. It's a bit of a change of scenery as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you will see probably what I might do is the Tuesday and Thursday evenings, you might even see some of them filmed at the box, which would be cool as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I'm still there with patients, then I'll just go downstairs, offer the stretch sesh, carry on.
Yeah, that'll actually be very cool to have that.
So
awesome.
Cool
stuff. Thanks, lady.
Bye, Mats.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.